Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Ashley. I created a few new spreads a few days ago, so I'm trying them out on a monthly thing for every sign, and then today I'm doing water signs. So Scorpio, you are up. Let's get a overall energy for you. I'm an intuitive reader, so even though I know a lot about the tarot, whatever the guides and my intuition bring to me is what I'm taking for what's happening in the cards. And I don't read reversals unless Spirit tells me to. Alright, so you guys have Nine of Fire. Good card for your overall energy this month. So how I'm doing this spread, it may look a little chaotic in the little thumbnail, but I'm doing the four bodies. I call them the four paths. So a spiritual path, physical path, emotional path, and mental path, as well as the struggles with all of them. No one fell on the floor. All right, your spiritual path of this today, for the month of June, Scorpios, is the Hermit. And then I'm going to get some guidance cards. This is your, in your struggle sector for the spiritual path, guys. It's a good card to have. Hi, the Hermit and the Fool together are good. I don't read reversals unless Spirit tells me, but I'll get some guidance for the all the paths. Physical path, we have the Seven of Wands. And then we'll get an outcome card. We have struggles in the physical path, the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Fire. I love that they have fire in the horse's hair. Emotional path is the Lovers. Let's get a struggle in emotional path is the Two of Swords. All right, we have mental path up next. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Scorpio, this is looking to be, June's looking to be a good month for you guys. And then struggles in the mental path. We have the Devil. All right, lots of major arcanas coming in for you guys this month. Let's get some guidance cards for you. We have first guidance for spiritual and physical path. We have Accept Love. Awesome. That's this. I love when the all the spreads go together, but I love when they're just perfect. And then don't sweat the small stuff for emotional and mental. I think that's a very good message. All right, let's get an outcome card for you, and then we can see what Spirit has to say about it. All right, we have the Six of Fire. So lots of fire energy for you guys this month. This is the Good Tarot from Colette Baron Reed, and fire is the suit of wands in the traditional tarot, and there's a bunch of wands in here. We actually don't have there's a lot of major arcana cards, so what we do have for the minor arcana is we have 3, 4, 5 cards for minor arcana, and 4 of them are wands or fire. So yeah, this is gonna be a great month for you guys. Okay, so into the Nine of Fire. This is your overall energy this month. I really feel like this is the last step that you guys are on completing a journey. And for me, wands very much depict that whole spiritual energy. So like, I feel like you guys are that creative, inspiration, visionary. You guys are going in from one phase to another. I don't think that you're going in from like a spiritual phase to like an emotional phase. You're going from one spiritual phase to another spiritual phase. I think that's clear with all the wands in your spread this month. So I really feel like that it's just from one part of your path onto another part of your bigger path. And I know that denotes everything, or everybody's path, but I definitely think that this is a major spiritual time for you guys right now, Scorpio. Especially like we're getting out of the Scorpio full moon into the Gemini full moon, so you guys have had Yeah, a lot of emotions running high this month, or at this time actually. So in your spiritual path, you have the Hermit, which this for me, like, I love the Hermit because it's really about you learning more things, about going within and learning more things about yourself. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to cut yourself off in the world, but you know, who knows you better than you know yourself on the inside? Nobody. And I know that's for everyone, but there's times that we have missions in the outside world, and there's times that we need to rest and relax and go within ourselves, and this feels like it's a really important time for you guys to do that, because this is the Fool is in your struggle sector for the spiritual path. So I really feel like you guys are going from that one spiritual step to the next spiritual step. It's kind of going from like step D or step C to step D, but you're still on the same path, but you're not gonna be able to get there if you don't go within first. It's all like the spiritual path is all about what's within ourselves instead of what's on the outside. So if you're looking for those things that you need outside of yourself, especially this month of June, it's not going to work for you guys. So be that contemplative hermit when it comes to your spiritual path, as well as, you know, I'm looking, you know, I'm feeling like this has I mean, spiritual path has to do with your other bodies as well, but I really feel like what my guides are telling me is to get to the Lovers and to fully take advantage of the Lover card and the Wheel of Fortune card on the other part of your spread. It's going to be about going within this month. For the Seven of Wands, we have that in your physical sector. So here's the thing, guys. Sevens are very... Sevens again are a spiritual number, they're a spiritual path, and that's how I view this card, is that she is standing up there kind of like a priestess or queen, being like, I'm holding this torch for my spiritual path. I'm holding this torch in what am I trying to say? in example for others in physicality. And I know traditional tarot, but I am an intuitive reader and this is what is coming down the pipeline. So it's one of those things that you can stand up, and it doesn't matter what religion, what spiritual idea that you follow. It's what works for you. But sometimes we need to stand up and make I'm getting that we need to make a stand for ourselves in our lives, in our ideologies. So it's not about like having conflict in that energy. It's about, you know, validating your own path. As well as, you know, especially with the struggle that's coming in, is the Knight of Wands. So this is again dealing with spirit in your physical existence, in your physicality. And the Knight of Wands, he's a very swift moving knight. He's, you know, he's on the run. He's coming in. In the traditional tarot, it's like he's kind of like I don't mean to swear, but like kind of like a bat out of hell. Like he's coming in just super fast and with purpose is really what's going on. So if you guys are struggling with that spiritual purpose this month, struggling to start the next phase on your journey, you know, it's one of those things that you have to believe in yourself. And sometimes spirit calls us to stand for what we believe in, and we all have freedom of choice, guys. So Scorpios, you don't have to stand for your ideologies, but doesn't it feel better when we're able to stand for ourselves in our own lives? The guidance this month is accept love, and this is love from anybody. That includes love from yourself. I'm really getting that this is accept love from yourself. Having that unconditional love for yourself will help you stand more in your spiritual path than you can ever imagine. Having that self-worth, having that self-care, having that unconditional love for yourself is the only way that you can have that in a 100% healthy, positive way for other people. So even if you guys are called to stand in your ideologies for other people, to help other people, it's about doing it for yourself first. You know, we are the ones that need to take care of ourselves, or nobody else will. If we don't take care of ourselves, other people will treat us the way that we're treating ourselves. So like stand your ground, and have that love for yourself this month to take you from one path to one part of your path to another. Because you know what, guys, it's about forward movement. It's about being able to go from one step to the other and not getting stagnant and sitting in a step because it's comfortable. Fire can burn you or it can inspire you. Either one is not as comfortable as people like to think that they are, because even inspiration in such a fast moving way is not always comfortable, but it's an amazing thing if you let it be an amazing thing. So just because it's not comfortable doesn't mean that it has to be invalid, or doesn't mean that it has to burn you. So yeah, start with yourself this month, guys. It really is looking to be a great month for you, but you guys really got to start with that unconditional love. They just keep on coming back to the unconditional love within yourselves. For your emotional sector, you have the Lovers. What they're telling me that this is all about is, it's not necessarily romantic relationships, but a piece of the puzzle to get on the path to romantic relationships. They're telling me that this has a lot to do with that unconditional love for yourself, and that going within and healing yourself and continuing on your spiritual path, so that the Lovers can be your outcome card. Instead of being one of those things that they're saying you're not necessarily struggling with it, but it's more about being complete within yourself. So to get into union with any, like a healthy 100% positive loving union with anybody, you need to be complete within yourself. So that's that yin and yang within you, and that starts again with unconditional love. The Two of Swords is in your struggle sector for the emotions. The Two of Swords always denotes to me, it always gives me that picture of, because she's blindfolded and can't see where she's pointing the swords, that they're coming back at her. And you can let them come back at you, or you can put them down, release resistance, and take off the blindfold, is what my guides are telling me. So you guys don't need to be standing there with these swords, not knowing where they're going, if they're going to cut off somebody's arm, or if they're going to cut your own throat. Or you can just put them down. You can release resistance and have that gentleness and that unconditional love within yourself, to open your eyes and see what's going on in life. Or what's going on with yourself and with your journey. For the mental sector, you have the Wheel of Fortune. This is a really great card, guys. But the struggle is with the Devil in your mental sector. So this is a great potential to have in your mental sector, because this means, this to me means that you can take that spiritual path and marry it with your mental side, marry it with your emotional side, and have a great, like they're telling me, like a true trinity of just spirit and your spiritual self married into the physical world. But the Devil is about taking away things that no longer serve us. Taking these ideologies that no longer serve us. What are you letting into your life, into your mental space, that doesn't gel with your spirit, that doesn't gel with your spiritual path or your spiritual self, your higher self? Is it that you don't have unconditional love for yourself? Is it that you still need to work on this majorly? Or work on that accepting love for yourself majorly? And it's one thing to feel things spiritually, it's one thing to feel things physically, it's one thing to feel things emotionally, and then have your brain understand them too. So it's, they can be 4 separate things, or they can be one thing, depending on how you let it happen. Your ego also, the Devil is also your ego. So are you going to let your ego run the show, or are you going to take all of these amazing major arcana signs, all of this amazing inspiration that the the wands are bringing in for you, and create a greater thing, a greater life for yourself. What are you going to manifest? Are you going to manifest from the ego, or are you going to manifest from your higher spirit? It's all about where you start, especially like you have the Fool on in your struggle for your spiritual sector. So are you going to start out your path with ego this month, the month of June, or are you going to let that go and love yourself first and foremost and build a path off of that foundation? Guidance for your emotional and mental sector is don't sweat the small stuff. Again, we can let our egos make mountains out of molehills to distract us from what we really need to be doing, which is the, going within and having that firm foundation, standing up for our beliefs, and having that unconditional love within ourselves to be yin and yang, to be that complete self, to create whatever we want to create. Are you going to let your ego take over, guys? The Six of Fire, for me, the Six of Fire is really a card of, they're telling me I'm going down the wrong path. So give me just a second, guys. Okay, so they're telling me that this goes along with this card, as well as with this card. So they're talking to me about threes, sixes, nines, and how this is kind of a continuation. So if you guys can stand up for yourselves, you guys can have that divine co-creation with spirit to create the illusion of not the illusion, but the life that you want out of the illusions that you see, out of the visions that you see. I don't always like to call it illusions because they're more visions. It's divinely guided to be the Wheel of Fortune. So I know that I was going to go down the original tarot path of this, but they're telling me that that's not what this card is out here for you guys, for Scorpios this month. This is about you guys having that love within yourselves so that you can start creating, so that you can stand in your physicality, not just in spirit, but in creation and manifestation as well. So yeah, guys, good spread for you this month, but I definitely can feel that it's going to be a challenging month for you guys, and that it's not going to be a bunch of surface issues for you guys. You have you're being called to really reassess yourself on the inside. So it's not necessarily about like I'm peeling away the last layers of the onions. I'm on the path to peel away the first and the hardest layer of this onion that I need to peel. But have faith that after that happens, it all gets easier. It's all downhill after that. So, it'll get easier after you do that deep dive. But I understand, I've done a bunch of those myself in life. It's sometimes hard to get there, but this is part of you having love for yourself, Scorpios, is giving yourself enough love and care to do those deep dives, no matter how uncomfortable and how scary they may seem. Spirit is calling you to be a greater version of yourself and saying that now is the time to do so, because you guys have a great future about you, and June is the month to bring it in. So listen to Spirit, guys. If you want some daily advice, I have daily Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine videos, as well as weekly and extra content every week on my Patreon. So join me there if you guys would like. But if not, I hope to see you again soon, and please have a great June. I'll see you guys. Bye.